Well, this is the big story of the day, the resignation of Oklahoma U.S. Senator Jim Inhofe. We thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Brian Dorman.
And I'm Shannon Rousseau. He's not leaving office until January 3rd, so quite a bit of time. But that's just 2 years into a 6-year term. His decision now triggering a new election for this upcoming November. News on 6's Emery Bryan is live in Tulsa with the latest. Emery? And our coverage of Senator Inhofe's resignation continues later on in this broadcast. We'll sit down with Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron to talk about what's next for Oklahoma politics. New here at 4 o'clock, Tulsa police are looking for a man who tried to rob a liquor store near Pine and Peoria today. Police say the man tried taking money from the cash register when an employee shot at him and chased him. Investigators say the suspect's car wouldn't work, so he ran off. Police now trying to get a search warrant for that car. Russian forces are continuing their advance on Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv. A senior U.S. defense official says the Russians have been slowed down by a resistant Ukrainian military. However, new satellite photos show a very large deployment of Russian ground troops as well as helicopters near the country's border. Today, NATO saying it's activating its response force. There's also growing pressure from Western leaders to cut Russia off from the international banking system. Members of Congress fear that if Vladimir Putin succeeds in Ukraine, he could turn his sights to other former Soviet countries. And we will have more on Russia's invasion of Ukraine later in our newscast. Coming up at 4:25, Margaret Brennan from CBS's Face the Nation will join us live from Washington, D.C. to talk about what we can expect to happen next. All right, thank you, Travis. Well, the Oklahoma Blood Institute says there is a big need right now for blood donors after the winter storm caused most of this week's blood drives be canceled.
News on 6's Mallory Thomas with the story this afternoon. Well, it's a very busy day around here with breaking news developments. We'll have more on Senator Jim Inhofe's retirement, the war in Ukraine, and President Joe Biden's Supreme Court pick when we go live to Washington.
And a Tulsa business is hit by thieves 7 times in the last 14 months. Why the owner says it feels personal.
Plus, a circus is coming back to town. Our Meredith McCown will take us there. It's our favorite time of day, and we're glad you're with us. We'll be right back.
So we mentioned Senator Jim Inhofe's resignation earlier in this newscast. His decision to leave could impact Oklahoma's influence in Washington, D.C. Inhofe, as you may know, serves as a member of several Senate committees, including the ranking member of the Armed Services Committee.
Our Alex Cameron reports from our exclusive News on 6 Washington Bureau often. He's in Oklahoma for today's major announcement. Alex, it's great to have you with us here this afternoon.
Well, thanks. It's nice to be here. Yeah, it's a major announcement and something that I think some people maybe saw coming, but.
And Alex, earlier today, Senator Inhofe endorsed his current chief of staff, Luke Holland, to replace him. What all do we know about Luke Holland? And Alex, really quickly as we wrap up here, who else might run for this Senate seat?
All right, and Alex, we know you'll stay on top of it for us. Great to have you on with us this afternoon. Stay with us. We'll be back after this quick break.
Movie news as well today. Killers of the Flower Moon. Director Martin Scorsese, of course, shot here in Oklahoma, coming out later this year.
Yeah, Rolling Stone reporting this afternoon Killers of the Flower Moon will be released in November. Most of it filmed in Pawhuska, a few scenes in Tulsa. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brendan Fraser, and Robert De Niro. Looking forward to that. Should be out in November.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
And they shot that in the dead of summer. It was so hot. I remember some filming days, not like that anymore.
Well, they were trying to dress like in winter. It's like, right now it's like, let's just move right on past that. Hey, we want to take a look at traffic, though, and we are talking about conditions